UK thanks Cuba for great gesture of solidarity in rescuing passengers from coronavirus cruise ship. A spokesperson for cruise operator Fred Olsen said at the time that no other Caribbean ports were willing to accept the ship because of local sensitivities towards COVID-19 coronavirus.
Here's a summary of the article.
The British government has thanked Cuban rescue workers for a great gesture of solidarity in helping the stranded passengers of a cruise ship struck by coronavirus. In a glowing letter, the UK ambassador to the country said he wanted to express his immense gratitude and that of my country for Cubans' role in the operation. Cuba allowed the British cruise ship MS Bremer to dock in Havana and allow its 600 mainly UK passengers to fly home, after other countries such as the Bahamas and Barbados refused permission because of COVID-19 infections on board. 43 Cuban workers, including a pilot, dock workers, police, and transport staff all had to go into quarantine for 2 weeks because of their close contact with the passengers. During Operation Bremer, I witnessed the many qualities of the Cuban people, their humanitarian principles, kindness and hard-working attitude, facets of the Cuban character that I have come to know and love since I came to the country, British Ambassador Anthony Stokes said in the letter dated 2 April, the day quarantine for the workers ended. In the House of Commons at the time of the rescue, Dominic Raab, the Foreign Secretary, said he had called the Cuban Foreign Minister to say the UK was very grateful to the Cuban government for swiftly enabling this operation and for their close cooperation to make sure it could be successful. In a statement, the Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs said, "These are times of solidarity, of understanding health as a human right, of reinforcing international cooperation to face our common challenges, values that are inherent in the humanistic practice of the revolution and of our people."
This post received a score of 21,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I'll drink a mojito to Cuba.
And a Cuba Libre. Then I'll go back to trade negotiations to get their standard of living out of the third world.
The UK? I thought their standard was okay by now.
It peaked a while back.
It had more than its share of problems, but we all miss the Victorian age.
Our MP for the Victorian age, Jacob Rees-Mogg, is trying to take us back to the good old days.
Proud of my country, Cuba.
Thanks to you guys, and stay safe from the UK United Kingdom Red Heart.
It is a bit odd that even Bahamas were not willing to accept the cruise liners saying as the ships are registered there and pays taxes to the country. It's called a flag of convenience, not a flag of obligation.
Why are people still getting on cruise ships?
They were on it before and not allowed to get off.
We've known the extent of the virus since January. If you needed a first-hand example, the catastrophe that was the Diamond Princess occurred 2 full months ago. They had far more than enough time and warning to not board or disembark if they are a long-term passenger. This was an inevitable outcome of the cruise.
Valid point, as most cruises only last about a week.
I know a guy who was set to leave for a cruise at the end of March from Mexico. He had every intention to still go because of all the freebies were worth the risk, and this is just a flu. Even when his flight was cancelled, he still intended to go. So he decided to drive. Ultimately, what changed his mind was seeing how hard it was to get back into the country. The writing had been on the wall for nearly 3 months before he abandoned his plans.
The Trump effect in full flow.
Wait up a sec, you can't praise Cuba for doing something objectively good. They're a communist country, so that is strictly forbidden.
The UK has always had better diplomatic ties with Cuba and a few other communist outposts. Brits have been able to go there as tourists for years, while Americans were only let in under Obama. The first think.
Greater than Brits have been able to go there as tourists for years, while Americans were only let in under Obama. The first think. Dude, the entire world bar America can go to Cuba, lol.
This is a massively incorrect rumor that is spread to the detriment of Cuba. Americans can still go to Cuba. They can enter under one of 8 reasons, one of the reasons being supporting the Cuban people. We met a fair few Americans there last month. Or if you live in the West Coast, go through Mexico and not bother with it at all.
Cuba saving lives while Trump plunders world PPE supplies to give to private companies for them sell them at the highest price to the states. Edit, sources.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.